Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. So, Meghan and Harry were expected to present at the Oscars, but they didn't even show up. So, let's just walk through this process, how it went, and all the news articles, not all of, some of the news articles that were leading us to expect that they would, of course, be there. And as we all know, Harry is skipping Prince Philip's Thanksgiving service, and we thought it was all because he was going to appear at the Oscars, and then they were going to go to these late night after parties. And how are you going to show up at Philip's all bleary eyed after drinking all night and staying up until 6 a.m.? I guess you just don't go to sleep. Okay, so the first one is Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are likely to present the Best Picture award at the Oscars. Okay, that's got our spidey senses tingling. Harry and Meghan asked to present Best Picture at the Oscars next week after he snubs Prince Philip's memorial. Well, yes, that makes sense. Okay, but you see, this actress here was playing Diana, and that was not a favorable interpretation, and there was perhaps a conflict there, and maybe that's why. Then we have It's in the Bag. Meghan Markle, latest news, shock claims Duchess and Harry may bag their own Oscar after the bombshell Oprah interview. So they're going to get an Oscar for the Oprah interview, all those mistruths and lies, the 17 mistruths. Okay, and the day after the big letdown, why fans were expecting to see Meghan Markle, Prince Harry at the 2022 Oscars. Where's Meghan? And for that matter, where's Harry? So people were obviously expecting to see them there, but they didn't even show up. Okay, and that is Meghan's dream. Meghan wants to be at all the award ceremonies, and Harry and Meghan Harry very famously skipped honoring 10 slain members who lost their lives, and it was booked like a year in advance. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm coming." And then he skipped it to go to the Disney Gala with Beyonce and to Huckster for Meghan. You know, Meghan does voiceovers. The other thing that we have going on is Will and Kate's trip to the Caribbean islands, Jamaica, Belize. Belize is not exactly an island, but they have some very famous islands off of there. The McAfee guy died on Ambergris Key, which is right off the coast of Belize and is part of the Belize territory. So anyway, here in this picture, this very important politician in Jamaica seems to be snubbing Kate Middleton. And just look at the body language. Kate is leaning away from this politician, and the politician's looking away. So no matter what people say, body language is the most important thing. And Kate doesn't want to be close to this woman. She feels under attack by this woman. This woman her countenance is cold. She's looking away. She's giving Kate her shoulder. Okay, so what are people making out of this? Well, this politician spoke up and said, "I didn't snub Kate Middleton, but Jamaica needs more than royal regrets over slavery." Okay, so there's a big hullabaloo about reparations. People need reparations because of slavery that happened hundreds of years ago. Honestly, if we're going to get reparations, I want reparations. I'm Polish. I'm a Slav. There's a lot of Slavic people. The Poles and the Russians are Slavs. Czechoslovakians, Slovakia. I think the Hungarians are not Slavs, but and the Ukrainians who are currently under attack. I think they are primarily Slavs. There's a lot of Slavs among them, but the root word of slavery is Slav. So whatever your timeline of humanity, if it's millions of years or thousands of years, because you follow a more biblical timeline, what is perceived to be a more biblical timeline, whatever that timeline is, a lot of people believe that Slav is the root word of slavery, were the original slaves and were traded, as slaves. And the worst slavers in history are the Arabs. And you can see that even in the Bible, where Joseph, the patriarch, is thrown into a pit and sold by his brothers and sold into slavery in Egypt. Who did it? Arab traders were passing by, and they sold Joseph to the Egyptians. So it's all word massaging, okay? Because all Slavs who are white, uh, according to the people who scream about slavery, they were slaves much longer than blacks. Later, when slavery moved to Africa and blacks were enslaved, uh, they still called them Slavs because they're black Slavs. Okay. And so the original slaves were Slavs. It's like screaming about pollution. Why are they constantly screaming at the Western nations about pollution when only the Western nations are doing anything to fight pollution? We're the only ones doing anything, and yet they just keep beating us, browbeating us, and screaming at us that we need to do more. Well, here's an article. India's carbon emissions jumped 1,041% since 1971. That seems like a lot. Who are the biggest? Biggest polluter I always knew about is Beijing, and they're producing like 60% of the world's pollution. But here it says the most polluted capitals. Beijing is way down the list. There's Delhi is the most polluted, Dhaka, Kabul, that's Afghanistan, Manama, I don't even know where that is. That's Africa. Ulaanbaatar, that's probably Africa. Kuwait City, that's Kuwait. Kathmandu, where is that? Beijing, that's in China. That's China. Abu Dhabi, and that's famous. Jakarta, Indonesia. Kampala, Hanoi. Well, that's Far East. Islamabad. Pollution is more than just carbon emissions. They massage the data to say that the United States is the second largest carbon polluter. And I'm sure that's true, but pollution is more than just carbon emissions. And if you go to the third world, they defecate in the streets, and it just goes right into the ocean. If that's not pollution, I don't know what is. There's not many things more dangerous than that. So it's a whole lot of massaging of data with the claims of slavery and the pollution data. Let's get into this. Let's look at some of these things. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the generous folks who buy me a cup of tea. I'm just saying that, I don't even believe a lot of the news that I'm hearing out of Ukraine. I just... So much of what we're fed in our brains is just all massage data, and it's just simply not true. And like what's going on in Ukraine right now, they're saying the Russians are losing. I don't believe that. I mean, the Russians have a very strong army. They're saying that Putin is desperate. Maybe he has cancer. They just tell you so many things that aren't necessarily true, or they're just making them up. And gosh, I don't know what to believe at this point. So I think we should be skeptical about all of the different narratives that are pushed at us, about all of the different things. Ukraine, the slavery narrative, the climate change narrative. Who is for climate change? I haven't met this person. Everybody's concerned about the environment. I'm concerned about the environment. But I think the people leading the climate change agenda they scare me. I mean, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's got to be the dumbest person who ever lived, and yet she's representing people in the Congress. That's just scary. A small child is out there, Greta Thunberg, screaming about climate change. What does Greta Thunberg know about climate change? Zip. Probably less than me, and I don't know much about it. So, were Harry and Meghan earmarked to be presenters at the Oscars? Because it sure looks like it, and it looks like a change happened at the very last minute. So let's just kind of get an overview. Were Harry and Meghan earmarked to be presented?
Decisions, crossroads, going one or more way. Well, we have a 2 here. Big change. There was a big change in there, and a transformation. City, what people would think. Blockage. Okay. So what do we have for the overall situation? Were Harry and Meghan earmarked to be presenters? Well, a couple of 5s. 5s are changed. 2 is commitment, binding, union, and a contract. So 2 or more ways to go, going a different direction with this. Trinity, and that's literally what they say. We've decided to go in a different direction, meaning you're fired. Trinity, working everything together, olive tree. So they really have a solid, they were working these relationships. They have a solid relationship with the Oscar people, with the people in Hollywood, even though they've not produced anything. It's very strange how unbelievably unproductive Harry and Meghan are. If they're going to be celebrities, they're going to have to produce something. Okay, a songwriter, a singer, a great musician. If they don't produce any music, are they still a great musician? If they never go on tour, really, I mean, come on, you have to do something. It's production-based at this point. It's not just who you are anymore. And they're just riding along on who they are. We're royals. We're ex-royals. So they just went in a different direction, but their situation is very solid in Hollywood. And I think they were being slated as presenters. That was brought up to them. I think maybe they even were going to get an Oscar for that nonsense that they did with Oprah. And let's ask. We'll just see if they were thinking about giving them, because they love to give out awards. You get the award for being the most woke person who says the most outrageous things and dresses in, clothes that are of a different gender. They love to give out awards like that. It's just really strange. 9 and 5, 14, 4 diamonds. So yeah, they have a very solid foundation, and at the last minute, Hollywood, the Oscar people went in a different direction. Yeah, it was all wrapped up, and I think it's very likely that this is why Harry was skipping Philip's thing, all because of Meghan, just in the same way that he skipped the memorial for the 10 slain servicemen. Karmic shift, big change, and everything changed at the last minute, but I think it really was there for them. Because of public perception, city, this is very important. Actions, this is very, very important to Harry and Meghan. Roadblock, okay, that was their worst fear, that they wouldn't be able to do it. And just because of things that are happening, like right now, they had to do this. I don't know if you can hear my dog fussing in the background. He's very active right now. Okay, so one reason that this could have, fallen through is because of the Kristen Stewart hullabaloo. She played Diana in the biopic, and that was kind of, I don't know how big, I don't have a TV, I just have internet at this point, so I don't know how big a part Kristen Stewart played in last night's Oscars, if she received an Oscar, and if they felt that would be kind of a conflict, or if they were trying to protect Harry. They didn't want to get blamed for Harry skipping Philip's Thanksgiving service, so let's look at Harry and Kristen Stewart. Is it because of this conflict with Harry and Kristen Stewart? Harry needs to keep his reputation up and show a little respect for his own mother. So let's see. Harry, is it because of the Kristen Stewart conflict? Harry and Kristen Stewart. No, there's a big change over there. We have yes. Oh, no. Yes, and a blockage. All right, so my battery went out. So was it the Kristen Stewart conflict? Well, big change, firm foundation, and Mercury, electronic media, 13, 4 hearts. She's really in the family of the Oscars. So there's a big change over on Kristen Stewart's side. What do we have over here? Strength, solid rooting, actions, transformation of the solid rooting, 11 and 11, 6 diamonds, hand in hand, 6 diamonds, yeah, hand in hand. Okay, so they just felt that it would give the wrong message for Harry as a royal family member. So that was definitely part of it. And so we have yes and this blockage. This block is emphasized. 9 hearts emphasizes the blockage. So 14. So it could be several things, but this conflict with Kristen Stewart playing Diana, that did play into it. And you know, maybe in the comments you can tell me how big a part Kristen Stewart played in last night's Oscars, because maybe she won something. Maybe she won Best Actress or something. And I'm not even aware because I didn't even see it, and I didn't check before doing this reading to see what happened with Kristen Stewart and the Diana biopic, which, yeah. How did Meghan feel about missing the Oscars? Because that's a big deal for her. This is what she lives for. Okay, she's not all about being a mother or a wife to Harry. She's all about being famous. And she's all about going to the Oscars. So what is Meghan Markle's reaction to not even showing up at the Oscars? Missing all those after parties, staying up all night, rubbing shoulders with those people that she invited to her wedding. That's what she really wants. So how does Meghan Markle feel about missing the Oscars? Because I think she's kind of upset. Butterfly. It's all going to be. Butterfly, transformation, of solid foundation, and there are just other ways to do this. She's working multiple avenues. The best way to get into Hollywood is to associate with famous people. You know, Tom Cruise, Oprah, and so the Oscars, she's not that upset about missing the Oscars. She realizes there are many avenues to this. There's a whole lot of things she needs to be doing. The Oscars are just an event in time. She feels that her progress, she's 5 diamonds, Mother Earth, she's making progress in this arena. And Sun, be a star. Sun reveals everything. King of Clubs and 6 Spades. That can be taking control very selfishly to be a star, and that could, the King of Clubs and the 6 of Spades could be talking about how Meghan's progress in life, Meghan becoming a, you know, getting back into Hollywood, is at Harry's expense. I think that's a good way to interpret it. But so she's not that upset about missing this one event, because there's just many ways. There's 1,000 ways to skin this cat, you know, and that's just an expression. It's a weird expression that people don't use very much anymore. But yeah, she just feels that her progress is not based on showing up at the Oscars. It's just one piece of a larger puzzle. So it's not that big a deal to her. Interesting. So quite a mature way to look at it. And she's right. It's a whole bunch of things. Were they earmarked? Had the Oscar committee earmarked them for some special woke Oscar for, you know, stunning and brave, calling out the royal family and making up a whole bunch of mistruths? Because these woke people, they love to tell you lies. They are the kings of misinformation, the kings and queens of misinformation. And that's why they use children so much. How is it not child abuse when they're using children to get their messages across? Because if people on the right Okay, the woke people are on the left. If people on the right even bring any children, any minor children, they scream child abuse. And yet they push children to the forefront as their mouthpieces on the left, and they're not. That's not child abuse? Interesting. Maybe we should ask Hunter Biden. I mean, he's such a great guy. He's a pillar of moral turpitude. So, are they going to receive, were they earmarked to receive an Oscar? Were Harry and Meghan earmarked to receive an Oscar? Blocked. Ooh. Oh. Interesting. Were they earmarked by the Oscar committee to receive an Oscar? 6 spades. No, it's a lie. No, this never happened. It's a lie. And it's just sent out. 10 diamonds, it's just, no. This never happened. 10 diamonds is often the royal family card, but it's very, 10 diamonds is very established, lots of money, established Hollywood. Okay? No, this is all a lie. This is just, they intentionally, you saw the news article yourself. They were intentionally, Sunshine Sachs was blowing sunshine up your butt and deceiving you. It was just a straight up lie. And by putting out a false news article, hopefully the Oscar committee would consider such a thing. But they never did. It's all just a lie. They were never going to receive an award at this year's Oscars. King of Diamonds, Ace of Clubs, manifesting this news and trying to transform the situation and trying to get a groundswell of support from lots of people, the world. Okay, so like I showed you on my last video that you could vote in change.org to keep Yankee Wally, save Yankee Wally's channel. That's what they wanted. They wanted a groundswell of support, like, yeah, give Harry and Meghan an Oscar for being so woke and going so stunning and brave, going on Oprah and telling all those mistruths and smashing up, trying to smash up the royal family because of their feelings about it. So, yeah, they were just trying to manifest a result. It's all a big lie. And that's what I'm talking about, like you can't trust the media. That was put out there just like any other news article, like it's a fact. And it absolutely was completely false all along. So let's look at Kate and this Jamaican politician, because this is real life, man. I mean, Kate is leaning away from her. She's obviously uncomfortable with this lady. This lady is giving her the cold shoulder, this Jamaican politician. Let's just look at this. Was Kate snubbed? Because that's the big news. That's how they're saying it in the news. Kate was snubbed. I don't know. We have some fallouts here. Interesting. Devil fell out. But I mean, you can just as easily say Kate felt that this woman was very cold to her, and she couldn't, she couldn't connect to this lady because this lady was so mean and, all about her political issues and, browbeating Kate, just like they browbeat all of us in the West. And in the Western Hemisphere, who was the worst offender for slavery? Brazil. How come we don't hear about Brazil? You never hear about Brazil and slavery. Brazil had the most slaves, by far. Okay, and you don't hear about it. That's really weird. It's like they're lying to us or something. Okay, so let's look at Kate and this Jamaican politician lady. Was Kate being snubbed? Kate and the Jamaican politician lady. Kate. And the Jamaican politician lady. Oh, got the executioner. Oh, and the ruler. Oh, we have 7 spades and 4 spades. Executioner is very ruthless. Cuts the head off. Star of Bethlehem and ruler. So 20, 33. Yes. So yes, this politician, nine hearts emphasizes. It can just be yes or it can be an emphasis card. Yes, this lady was snubbing Kate because of her political agenda. She was acting as a ruler. She wanted to make a statement that she was snubbing the royal, Kate Middleton, the royal, soon-to-be queen. Yeah, she was very intentionally snubbing Kate Middleton. She wanted the world to see it because she is a ruler over the people in Jamaica. What's up with Kate? Finger of God, outside influences affecting the whole world and the situation. 27 cross, and as part of the spine. How many of the people now living in Jamaica were former slaves? Probably like 95 or 98% of them. I don't know the actual ratios, but that's what was done in those Caribbean islands, especially. More so than a lot of places. And the original peoples of Jamaica and those islands, I think they were Arawak Indians. I'm not sure, but they were Caribbean, maybe they were Carib Indians. That would make more sense. But, the same in Puerto Rico. I've been to Puerto Rico 24 times. I had a Puerto Rican girlfriend. So there's a lot of, the people who live in Puerto Rico now, they're not the original people. And not once have I seen, one of the indigenous people in Puerto Rico. Not once. I don't know if the indigenous people from before, the current population, which they're all ex-slaves. So, yeah, so she was making a political statement, and she was taking it out on Kate, and she was very ruthless about it. And Kate, it's just outside influences affecting this whole world. She's just like, well, she's going to be the whipping boy for this woman's political agenda, and that's what happened. It's all underneath the surface and all unspoken. 11, 3 clubs. And so even when she's directly, this politician, Jamaican politician, is directly asked about it, she denies it because it's so powerful to do it, and it's all under the surface. It's all this undercurrent, under the surface kind of thing. And then they deny that they don't, and it's not even about having courage. It's the way to play this game is to keep it all under the surface. And like when Harry and Meghan said, oh, somebody said something about Archie's skin color, and they wouldn't name that person. That's how you play the game. It's a game. Okay, we're not blaming anybody in particular. I know you, Kate Middleton, didn't do it, but we're going to just take this stick and whip you while you're here, and I'm going to pretend to be very self-righteous and very indignant, and we're just going to whip Kate Middleton for sins that she did not commit and her forefathers maybe didn't even commit. And then when we're asked about it, we're just going to deny it and say, oh, no, that's not what we were doing. Because that's exactly what happened. And that's a political game. That's how this game is played. And it's a cancer, infecting only the West at this point. It's a cancer infecting the West. Okay, so what do we have? Were Harry and Meghan earmarked to be presenters? I think they were. I think they had a very solid relationship with the presenters. I think it's a no-brainer that that's why Harry skipped Philip's Thanksgiving service, because wow, wow, wow. What a big mistake. People never forget stuff like this, Harry, and that's a big mistake. Was it because of Harry and Kristen Stewart and the Diana biopic? Yes, that definitely was part of it. And the Oscar committee felt that it would give the wrong message about Harry, because they are intelligent people and they realize that the most important thing about Harry is his reputation as a royal, and it's just going to sully his reputation a little more. So, and this lady was definitely snubbing Kate, and Kate was being used as a representative of Western culture, and that's not fair. I'm not a representative of Polish culture. I have people bothering me about Poland and saying that, oh, Poland is so racist because of this and because of that, and they're pretending that I'm the representative of Poland. I don't represent Poland. I'm an individual. I'm a person, just like everybody else. And it's unfair to treat Kate Middleton or anyone like that. That's racism, treating somebody like they're a representative of their race. That is racism, and that's what these woke people are doing. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. And please feel free to like, share, and subscribe.